time. Okay, so if we don't have any question, I will going to explain you about the last. I will not going to take more time from you. 10 to 50 minutes I need after that, and we will conclude the lecture. I will going to explain the cells, and I'm sure I don't need to work very hard on these things because I have explained already about the antigen presenting cells to you guys. Let me introduce the antigen presenting cells. As you can see from the names, the cells which are able to share and present the antigens to the other cells, they are called as antigen presenting cells. They not only eat the bad thing, they not only capture the bad thing, but also after capturing the bad thing, they able to share or show that components of the bad thing to the next members of the immune system. They can present on their heads, वो अपने सर पे उठा लेते हैं antigens को, and then share it with the other members of the immune system. They are called as antigen presenting cells. There's one job. The other job of the antigen presenting cells is to produce chemicals, is to produce signals which can help the other members of the immune system to find the place where the immune action is going on, to rush towards the site of infection. And those signals not only calls, not only attract the other members of the immune system, those signals can also help the immune cells to proliferate and to differentiate and to produce the functional molecules, to produce functional cells and different forms of lymphocytes. So let me introduce three major antigen presenting cells. The one is called as the dendritic cells. You need to remember their locality. Their job is almost same, but they belongs to different category of cells. And generally they are present at different locations. So the first category is called as the dendritic cells. Dendritic cells capture, आमतौर पर skin में होते हैं. They are present in different parts of our body. They capture and present the bad things to the T lymphocytes. As you can recall from our earlier lectures, the T cell who never ever came across an antigen during its lifetime is called as the naive T cell, जो अभी कभी किसी antigen से नहीं मिला. But once the dendritic cell communicate that information to the T cell, that naive cell will going to proliferate and differentiate, and now it will become like a mature T cell. It will start producing the other cells. I call them effector cells. There are 4 types of T cells which are produced after that. You can go back always to recall the lecture that once the T cells got activated, receives the information from the dendritic cells, it will differentiate into 4 types of cells. Okay, helper T cell, अगर आपको याद आ रहा हो, memory cell, अगर आपको याद आ रहा हो. Okay, the dendritic cell is one of the kind of antigen presenting cells. The other is the macrophages. The macrophages, they capture and present protein antigens, particularly protein antigens, to the effector T lymphocytes. So this is not sharing the things particularly with the naive T cells. They are sharing the things sharing the information with the effector T lymphocytes. And you can remember the effector T lymphocytes or effector T cells, they are produced out of the naive T cells. Okay, they are produced out of the naive T cells. The third one are the beta lymphocytes. The beta lymphocytes, the beta cells, they are also capable of capturing the bad thing, and they can also present whatever they have captured to the effector T lymphocytes. They can trigger the T cell, and they can secrete chemicals which not only help the T cells for proliferation, but also help the beta cells to proliferate and to differentiate and create plasma cells and then the antibodies. So generally, the antigen presenting cells, their job is to capture and share it with the next member of the immune system. The dendritic cells specifically share with the naive cell. ये बहुत जरूरी बात है. Dendritic cells specifically share with the naive T cell. While the macrophages and beta lymphocytes, they communicate that information with the effector T lymphocytes, not with the naive T cells. The mechanism of sharing is same, but the nature is different. The dendritic cells, the first ones, you can remember the dendritic cells, their job is to share the things, is to share the information with the naive T cells. They arrive from the bone marrow through the hematopoietic stem cells. You should be able to recall all these things now. They became monocytes. They travel into the blood system and then landed into the tissues. There are different types of dendritic cells present in different tissues. The one which are present in the tissues, their job is to hunt down the infections present in the tissues. आपने इस बात को समझना है that the infection which is bombarded on the skin is coming from outside. The infection in our nasal passageway is coming from the outside because it is directly connected with the environment. The infection which is present in our gut or digestive system is also coming from directly from the outside because it is directly connected with the environment, and the ears, something like that. But think about the internal organs. Think about the internal tissues. So nature has placed the dendritic cells in all those tissues. Some of them are called as classical dendritic cells. Some are called as plasma cytoid dendritic cells. Your job is to find out their locality, and where they exist. And of course, their purpose is same. The job is same. What is the job? To live in the tissues, to wait for the bad things. If they found something unusual, capture it and present it to the naive T cell. During the development, the dendritic cells, they appear from the hematopoietic organs. The hematopoietic organs are yolk sac and the liver. They are the primary source of immune cells at that time. Or after that, it's the job of the bone marrow to produce those cells. Okay? One hematopoietic cell will be able to give rise a common dendritic cell precursor. And that common dendritic cell precursor will be able to differentiate into different types of dendritic cells. One of the type of dendritic cell or subpopulation of dendritic cell is called plasma cytoid dendritic cells. Why I am sharing specifically about this? Because plasma cytoid dendritic cells are the most earliest, they are the most early cellular responders to the viral infections. Because nature has created the plasma cytoid dendritic cells in such a way that they can capture the nucleic acids. They can recognize nucleic acids or intracellular viruses. And also, they can detect the proteins, the soluble proteins, which are produced as a result of the viral infection. जब हमारे cells में virus attack करते हैं, तो हमारे cells कुछ proteins पैदा करते हैं, कुछ response create करते हैं, उनको interferons कहते हैं. They're called as interferons. Usually, they are produced out of the viral infection. So, plasma cytoid dendritic cells. Why I am highlighting it, you can guess. This is a kind of the dendritic cell. Its job is to detect the nucleic acids and the viral structures in the cells or the interferon. So these are the first responders which can make a noise that a viral infection is going on within the body. In today's perspective, आज के context में, during the pandemic, we should respect the plasma cytoid cells of dendritic cells a lot, because the first molecules of viruses, when they manage to enter into our body or into our tissues, lungs and wherever, these are the cells which will going to capture the nucleic acids or the viral particles or able to detect the presence of virus. ये हमें बताएंगे कि virus infection आ गई है. So you can think about more like empowering and strengthening the plasmacytoid dendritic cells, so they're able to detect the nucleic acids with more efficiency, or especially for the COVID-19. In COVID-19 case, they should be able to detect SARS-CoV-2 more easily. I don't know why plasmacytoid is not performing in the best of the way in case of SARS-CoV-2. You can guess that is why many people are getting infected, and they not able to capture the virus. They're not able to stop the viral activity during the earlier phase. Okay, so that's it for today. This